Hi, dear friends and subscribers. Welcome to the Cricket Happening show today. And we are looking at and we are waiting for this WACA test match in Perth to start. As you know, the pacey and bouncy, a lively green surface. And it was the Australian captain, Michael Clarke, who actually won the toss and inserted the Indians to bat. And well, that was a great decision because India once again continued their very dismal form in this Test series, and they were bowled out for 161. Definitely, it had all those makings of a whack-up pitch in Perth, but probably I thought that India could have done much better than what. And not only that, if you look after 161 all out, after the bowlers Ben Hilfenhaus 4 wickets, 3 wickets to Siddle, 2 wickets to Mitchell Stark, and also Ryan Harris, who came back, made a comeback into the Australian team, 1 for 33. Australia pasted 149 for no loss, so they are just 12 runs away from taking this lead in this Test match. David Warner went on to make a century, being the fourth fastest Test century to date here. And David Warner was not out on, and he made this in probably in a session, I would say. David Warner was not out on 104 of just 80 deliveries, 13 fours and 3 sixes. And Vinay Kumar, on his debut, had to suffer from the punitive blade of David Warner's. David Warner pummeled not only Vinay Kumar was the worst affected, but all the other bowlers came in for some tap, including Zahir Khan, Umesh Yadav, Ishan Sharma. So that was the story of the day as far as the WACA pitch in Perth was concerned. So 149 for no loss Australia in reply to 161 all out by India on the first day at the WACA in Perth. And David Warner, out of a score of 149, was undefeated at 104 at stumps with 13 fours and 3 sixes. Talking about the play for the day here, Gambhir and Sehwag opened. Well, Sehwag was gone. Sehwag was the first victim as Ponting snaffled the catch of the bowling of Hilfenhaus for a duck. So that was a breakthrough given by Hilfenhaus. After that, Dravid, as he has been struggling in this Test series, was looking quite out of sorts. Mitchell Stark got a ball. As you know, Mitchell Stark, he's like a Mitchell Johnson type bowler who gets the ball to jag in. And one ball that he bowled to Dravid was a real beautiful delivery. And it was Dravid only just managed to keep the ball away. He was looking out of sorts. He was reaching for the ball. And Dravid finally out of his misery as Peter Siddle came in on first change and rattled the timber of Dravid, which is something which has become a sort of a commonplace in this Test series. Dravid was walking clean bowl by Peter Siddle for 9, India 32 for 2. Tendulkar joined Gambhir. Gambhir was the one who was playing very confidently. He was driving well on both sides of the wicket. He was rotating the strike. Tendulkar stamped his class as soon as he came with a beautiful straight drive that he played. I played some very good off drives. Tendulkar started looking in good nick, but Gambhir was the next to go, caught behind. Now Gambhir, this was the mistake that he did. Gambhir once again poking at a ball from Hilfenhaus, which just moved in a shade. He was gone for 31. Tendulkar was joined in by VVS Lakshman there. In fact, Tendulkar was the third to go. It was Gambhir who was the fourth to go. So Tendulkar was the next to go. Ryan Harris making his comeback was already troubling Tendulkar. And this time Tendulkar trying to flick a ball, which he normally does well, but completely missed the line of the ball, and he was adjudged LBW ball Ryan Harris for 15 with 3 fours. And Tendulkar probably has to once again wait for the second innings now, if at all he wants to make his 100th century, which has been eluding him so far. Lakshman and Kohli were the only ones who really resurrected the situation for India, but only just. From 63 for 4, the score went on to 131 with VVS Lakshman and Virat Kohli playing well. Well, one thing I would like to say here, India made one change. They brought in Vinay Kumar making his debut in place of Ravichandran Ashwin. For me, it was a big surprise. But Virat Kohli, well, he played well. He made 44. He was the highest scorer, so that says it all that this decision was justified. So Virat Kohli made 44 with 6 fours, combining into a good partnership. That was the only good partnership that India had, which went over 50 runs. And well, Virat Kohli was the next to go. Caught Warner bowled Siddle for 44. And this was the time when Virat Kohli was dismissed. It was a procession for India. From a score of 131 for 5, India collapsed to 161 all out, 30 runs. And in fact, I would say they were 131 for 4 at one stage. So 6 wickets falling for 60 runs. Absolutely dismal display. Lakshman was caught. Clark bowled Siddle for 31. It was Mahendra Singh Dhoni disappointed. Once again, Irfan Haas taking his wicket. Dhoni playing a casual stroke. Caught Ponting bowled Irfan Haas for 12 with 2 fours. The tail end did not whack. Vinay Kumar was LBW bowled Mitchell Starc for 5. Zahir Khan switched his bat around. Caught Clark bowled Irfan Haas for 2. Ishan Sharma fended at a ball from Mitchell Starc. Caught by Haddon for 3. Umesh Yadav was not on for 161 all out India on the first day. Harris 18 overs 6 maidens 1 for 33. Comeback man there. Irfan Haas splendid 18 overs 5 maidens 43 runs and 4 wickets. Mitchell Starc 12.2 overs 3 maidens 39 runs and 2 wickets. Peter Siddle 12 overs 3 maidens 3 for 42. And Australia in their second innings in reply finishing at a very, very commanding position on the first day of the first test of the third test here at the Wacker ground in Perth. 149 for no loss. David Warner smashing a century in 69 deliveries, the 4th fastest test century ever in the annals of test history. Ed Cowan was impressive, giving good support, not out on 40 with 6 fours. He was merely a spectator at the other end. David Warner was doing all the scoring, and he also had a blow. He copped a blow on his ear from a ball from Umesh Yadav, but that did not deter him. He became more aggressive after that, bludgeoning the Indian bowling to all parts of the field. Umesh Yadav, the next 2 deliveries after he was hit on the ear, David Warner had sent Umesh Yadav thudding to the fence for 2 boundaries. Zahir Khan was dealt with severely. Ishan Sharma was clubbed along for 4s. There was also a lot of 6s hit by David Warner of the pace bowlers. And let me tell you, it was absolutely carnage there. David Warner, on an kingly 104 not out of 80 deliveries, 13 fours and 3 6s, as if he was playing a one-day match. And this is what the difference is. India's Virendra Sehwag has been failing. David Warner, well, he was looking good for the last 2 tests, but finally he flowered. And how happy Australia would be with this knock of his today. So that stumps on day 1 of the third test match here at the Wacker ground in Perth. 149 for no loss, another 12 runs in the morning to take the lead, and then probably take a massive lead, and probably Australia looking at the prospect now of even crushing India in this Wacker test in Perth, with a very huge batting lineup to follow. Bowling figures doesn't make any impressive rating. 7 overs none for 44 for Zahir Khan. Umesh Yadav 6 overs none for 42. Vinay Kumar pasted by Warner, 4 overs no maiden none for 31. A very forgettable debut for him. Ishan Sharma 5 overs no maiden none for 28. Virendra Sehwag bowled 1 over for 1 run. And well, I can only say that India, unless and until the morning, if they are going to make some early strikes, so that is going to be the key. Before lunch, they have to make some very early strike, probably pick up 3 or 4 wickets, and it's wishful thinking, I would say, because the Australians are bred on these pitches and they know what they have to do. And I think India are in for a really very Herculean task here, because only 12 runs required, and then probably what India can do is probably restrict Australia from taking a big lead. Whether they can do it or not will be known on the second day of the third test match here at the Wacker ground in Perth. And I hope to see you all. And one important thing that I would like to say here, well, pitch has been, as I said, pacey, bouncy. Australians are definitely ready for that, no doubt about that. And one news that I would like to cover, England have picked up their second consecutive tour match victory in the United Arab Emirates. They beat the PCB 11, the Pakistan Cricket Board 11, by 100 runs. So that should give them a god of confidence, getting into the UAE and getting acclimatized to all the conditions and knowing the vagaries of the pitch. and that will hold them in good stead for this ensure the test series, the first test match, which is going to be starting at Dubai between England and Pakistan on 17th of January. Other than the another news that just broken in, Yuvraj Singh of India is out of the one-day series against Australia because he still has that growth on his anatomy, and he wouldn't be able to take part. So that is not good news for India. So Yuvraj Singh is out of the one-day series against Australia. Well, on this note, I would like to end my Cricket Happening show for today. Hope you all enjoyed my cricket show, dear fans, friends and subscribers. Your host Ram will see you tomorrow with the second day's play report. Until then, it's goodbye and good night. Thank you.